Donc, on est le 16 octobre 2023. Je suis à la source de la Martinière avec Trevor Phipps d'Unearth. Ce soir, on va passer au travers de chaque chanson du dernier album de Wretched, de Ruinous. C'est le nouvel album d'Unearth. Trevor, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back, Oliver. Excited to be here.
Good to have you again and to talk about the new record, the Wretched, the Ruinous, that came out in May. We had you on show in Quebec back in May, a few weeks after the release of the record. Now we're here today to talk about the track, have some stories, some meanings on these tracks we have on the new record. First, the Wretched and the Ruinous, just for the title, for the record. This is pretty hard for a French guy to say that name, so can you tell me what's the meaning of this name record?
So this is our first ever concept record. With the Extinctions, our last record, I got kind of close with the concept record because I'm trying to really push the climate crisis emergency forward, and keep that discussion moving and keep people motivated to make a change in the right direction. So this record is entirely about the climate crisis and what we're seeing now, what's going to come quickly, and what is likely going to happen in the future. So the Wretched, the Ruinous, that is basically mankind. It's us who's causing these disasters and causing extinctions and making our own lives harder. And so we need to make a quick change. If we don't, then it's going to be a very terrible end of times, stuff beyond our imagination. And so this record is a warning for that.
Donc, l'album de Wretched, the Ruinous d'Unearth, c'est un peu un avertissement sur les changements climatiques, sur la façon dont l'homme détruit un peu la planète en ce moment avec ses comportements. C'est le premier album concept d'Unearth. Il y avait eu quand même quelques prises avec l'album Extinction auparavant. Il y avait eu des touchés vers ces sujets-là. Mais cette fois-ci, The Wretched, the Ruinous, c'est un album qui est carrément concept, qui est destiné à nous avertir sur ce qui s'en vient, si on veut, dans les prochaines années, si on ne change pas nos comportements. On va y aller avec la première pièce de l'album. So, the first track of the record, which is the title track. It's all about the meaning you just explained to us.
It is, and so this to me was the standout track in the record. I like a lot of songs on the record. I love the whole record. This one seemed to be the best starter for the album because it kind of summed up the entire meaning of the record in this song. But there's parts of the song that make that take some turns. There's one, it's like reset year zero. Means that Mother Nature doesn't care about us. We have our own divides, our political divides, our religious divides. Mother Nature doesn't care. If we continue to abuse the environment, it's going to turn on us more and more, and eventually mankind will be wiped out. Then it'll be new life will begin here. So year zero means new life. So it's me just really trying to shine a light on. We need to clean it up, or else we're in for a long world of hurt.
Donc, la première pièce de l'album, c'est un peu un résumé de ce qui s'en vient pour nous si on ne tient pas compte de la nature, de Mère Nature. Mère Nature, le climat ne tient pas compte des religions, ne tient pas compte de notre opinion politique. Et ce que cette chanson-là, en fait, vient dire, c'est si on continue à aller dans cette direction-là, la nature va s'occuper de nous et on va juste retourner à zéro et on va se faire éteindre de cette planète. Alors, on l'écoute, The Wretched and the Ruinous à CKRL 89.1. Vous écoutez un spécial avec Trevor Phipps d'Unearth. On passe une à une les chansons du nouvel album. On est de retour à CKRL 89.1. Je suis avec Trevor Phipps d'Unearth ce soir. On passe au travers du nouvel album d'Unearth, The Wretched, the Ruinous. Il nous explique, chanson après chanson, qu'est-ce qu'on peut retrouver sur cet album-là. So, Trevor, the second one is Cremation of the Living. Tell me more about this one.
So this one is in the event that mankind survives these natural disasters and continues to destroy the planet, then we can reach certain tipping points where, much like what happened to Venus, likely by natural causes, that it just turned into a hellscape. And so the intro to the song is audio taken from the Russian spaceship that went there in the 80s and captured the audio from Venus, where it is 800 plus degrees Fahrenheit, and just these hot winds. Nothing can really survive there. There's no chance. And so this is like the worst case scenario. So basically, all of life burns alive. So cremation of the living is a very, very literal term of what could happen is if we hit the certain tipping points where we just become erased because it's just too hot to live here.
Donc, Cremation of the Living, c'est une chanson qui, un peu comme une métaphore, Vénus, qui est la deuxième planète la plus proche du Soleil, il y a des vents très forts, une grosse chaleur, il n'y a rien qui peut survivre là-dessus. Alors, il dit qu'au début, les sons qu'on entend, c'est des enregistrements d'une exploration spatiale russe et des bruits là, de chaleur qui ont été récupérés dans les années 80 par les Russes. Cremation of the Living à CKRL 89. On écoute le nouvel album d'Unearth ensemble, puis on se le fait expliquer. C'est un album concept qui porte sur les changements climatiques. On est de retour à CKRL, on vient d'entendre Cremation of the Living d'Unearth. On continue notre parcours avec Trevor Phipps, Eradicator.
So this is written from the perspective of the Earth. It is a song written from Mother Earth telling us that we have what she provided us with things we needed, and we turned our back on her, and so she'll live on. She'll erase us. It's going to make life very hard for most living things, but it's basically she'll eradicate us if we don't make a quick change. This one for me was one of the more emotional songs to write and to sing. Just seeing it from the eyes of the earth, it was interesting for me, and I felt it to my core a bit on this one. But it's one of my favorite songs on the record.
Eradicator, une chanson qui est prise du point de vue de Mère Nature. Si on ne fait pas les changements qu'on doit faire, elle va s'occuper de nous. C'était un peu une façon pour Trevor, quand il écrivait les paroles, de se placer au-dessus de la mêlée, puis de regarder l'humain, mais en tant que planète et qu'environnement. On l'écoute à CKRL 89.1, Eradicator. De retour à CKRL 89.1, on écoute le nouvel album d'Unearth de Wretched, de Ruinous, et on a une explication sur chaque chanson parce que je suis en compagnie de Trevor Phipps, chanteur d'Unearth, groupe de Boston. Trevor, Mother Betrayal.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely following the lyrical pattern of the first few songs as well. The side A and side B of this record, there's kind of a warning, and then the consequence of it of modern times in the second half. This one is basically about living, a scorched earth is here. This is we're rapidly approaching the tipping points in our climate, and we don't seem to be doing anything about it. Instead of rushing towards getting rid of fossil fuels and living a cleaner life. We're rushing towards wars and divisions and making life more complicated, and ignoring the fact that the real war that we need to wage is against our dependency on fossil fuels, and we're just leaning into them, and that's just going to make the advancement towards drastic and catastrophic climate change it's going to be here, but much faster than we first predicted. Years ago they talked about it was 100 years in the future. Then they reduced it to 50 years. Now all of a sudden they're saying things are happening now, and you see it. There's certain parts in the world where you can't live there because it's too hot, or weather's become too extreme. And so this isn't like a 50 years from now problem. And the reason why I wrote this record, because I have 2 young kids, and I didn't grow up in this. I didn't grow up with this threat to us, and I don't want to pass this off to them. And the way it's accelerating is alarming. Because if this, 10 years goes by and all of a sudden things are much worse, then what? It's now not just future people's lives that we don't have a connection to. And now it's our own lives. And you can be cold-hearted and not care about the youth, but it's going to affect you. So if you are selfish and you pushed off making action because you thought it would only affect people after you, or you were too old to care, it's going to affect you. It's happening now. Just look around. The whole world's burning. And that's basically what this song is about. We betrayed Mother Earth, and she's taking action on us right now. And it's a severe warning by her to clean up or you're gone.
Donc, Mother Betrayal, c'est une chanson à quelque part qui dit qu'on a trahi la planète Terre, on a trahi Mère Nature. Trevor disait on essaye de s'affranchir des énergies fossiles. Auparavant, on disait qu'il allait y avoir des changements climatiques dans 100 ans, 50 ans, 10 ans. Puis là, maintenant, c'est là. On sent les conséquences. On voit les changements climatiques dans des pays où il fait des pays où il fait de plus en plus chaud, des régions du globe où on est de plus en plus sous la chaleur. Et Trevor disait, j'ai 2 enfants. Moi, j'ai pas grandi dans ce climat-là, j'ai pas grandi dans cette façon-là de vivre et je veux pas leur léguer une planète qui va se réchauffer par nos agissements. Et si jamais tu t'es un peu... tu te fous de la jeunesse, tu penses à rien qu'à toi, sache que ça va t'impacter toi aussi aujourd'hui. Donc, c'est un avertissement. Et Mother Betrayal, c'est un peu une chanson qui dit on a trahi la nature avec laquelle on devrait être en harmonie. On l'écoute. Mother Betrayal, Unearth à CKRL. De retour à CKRL 89.1, on écoute le nouvel album d'Unearth ce soir avec Trevor Phipps qui nous explique chacune des chansons. Invictus.
Invictus, that is the term for being, you cannot be defeated. And Mother Earth has been undefeated. There's been 5 mass extinctions before we came along, and there's evidence now that with all the mass extinctions around the world that we are in the middle of the 6th one. And that's what this song is about, and it's about how we were given a Garden of Eden. We had everything at our disposal to live a prosperous, healthy, wonderful life, and we, for some reason, are so at odds with each other. We're so at odds with trying to advance technology to live a cleaner life that it's just destroying everything around us. And so, again, it's another one that focuses on a different viewpoint of how we're just being erased. And if we don't make things change quickly, then, it's being too late for us.
Donc, Mère Nature n'a jamais perdu. Il y a eu plusieurs extinctions de vie sur la planète Terre avant nous. Et Invictus, c'est un peu une façon de dire qu'elle va toujours gagner sur nous. On a eu une planète belle qui nous a donné des chances. On a utilisé la technologie. Puis finalement, on se rend compte qu'on fait peut-être pas bon usage de notre planète Terre. Donc, Invictus, c'est un peu... la façon de dire que la nature va toujours gagner par-dessus nous. Alors, c'est le temps d'ajuster nos comportements maintenant. On l'écoute à CKRL 89.1. Vous écoutez Démentiellement Vôtre. On passe l'heure avec Trevor Phipps d'Unearth et on écoute le nouvel album de Wretched, de Ruinous. De retour à CKRL 89.1, on est avec Trevor Phipps d'Unearth. Ce soir, on écoute le nouvel album de Wretched, de Ruinous. Si vous êtes à l'écoute depuis les dernières minutes, vous commencez à savoir de quoi on parle. The Call of Existence, c'est la pièce numéro 6. Qu'en est-il?
So with this one, it's the only real positive vibe song in the whole record, whereas it does point out that it isn't entirely too late for us to make a change. But it has to be drastic, has to be quick. But it's a plea. It's like, hey, look around. We can do this. We have the intelligence to do this. We have the capability. We have some technology to help turn this around. But we need to not be so divided and not so at odds with everything. And not everything needs to be, politicized. We need to care about the planet, care about each other, move life forward in a better way. And that's what the song is about. It's actually inspired by the whole Planet Earth series. David Attenborough on tour for years. A few of us would get to a hotel room at night and we'd put on Planet Earth or Our Planet, which is actually the one that did showcase that you can, if mankind pays attention, either leaves the place alone or cleans it up and takes care of it, then Mother Nature rebuilds itself. And so if we can focus on these things, small victories, if you do many small victories, it's going to, become an ultimate victory. So just do these things. And we want this planet to be healthy because it's going to make our lives better. It's going to make the other life on this planet better. And so that's what the song is really asking for is, if we do focus on change, we can accomplish it.
Donc, c'est un peu la chanson positive de Call of Existence qui dit, en fait, si on fait des petites actions pour entretenir notre planète, pour la rendre en bonne santé, puis qu'on fait chacun une petite action, mais ça fait une grande action au bout de la ligne, et c'est ça qui va compter pour guérir, si on veut, notre environnement. On l'écoute, Call of Existence à CKRL. Donc, on est de retour à CKRL 89.1. On est rendu à la moitié, même plus que cet album-là, de Wretched and the Ruinous. Une chanson que j'apprécie, oui, particulièrement sur cet album-là, Down of the Militant. Trevor Phipps d'Unearth, chanteur, nous explique cette chanson. Qu'est-ce qui se passe sur Down of the Militant? What's going on with Down of the Militant?
So this is where the record shifts. There's different topics. Down the Militant is about basically what's happening now. Whereas when there is so much conflict and so much upheaval in the world, especially if we're fighting for natural resources, then the tensions will ramp up worldwide, and there'll be more war, and there'll be more carnage, and that's what the song is about. And you're seeing it. I wrote the song before the Russia-Ukraine conflict. You see it happening. You see divisions strengthening. You see people becoming more desperate, certain cultures having less access to water and food, and it's becoming pretty desperate in a dire situation. This is what the song is about. It's the dawn of the militant. Like, we are about to be, it seems, in my lifetime, it seems that we're closer than ever to a possible World War III. You watch the news, and it's horrific to see what's happening. And this is just my view that if the climate was better, we took care of things better, then these tensions wouldn't be as prevalent. Because when humans are protected by nature, so you want to protect your own. You go into your nation, you go into your family, you might go into your religion or whatever faith you are, and you're going to battle those that don't see eye to eye with you. And if things are fine and there's no stress, then those things we can live in harmony. But if there's stress, then we really, we back up into these things. We protect our own, and it's going to cause more division. And then when there's division, there's eventually a war, and here we are. And it's only going to get worse unless we make a change.
Donc c'est un peu cette chanson-là, Dawn of the Militant, une approche où Trevor se rendait compte que les gens devenaient de plus en plus... il y avait un clivage qui se faisait, des gens qui cherchaient par exemple de l'eau, des gens qui vont aller en guerre parce qu'on commence à être de plus en plus aux extrêmes. Dawn of the Militant, c'est un peu un appel à arrêter d'être aux extrêmes et on pourrait vivre en harmonie et on serait beaucoup mieux ainsi. On l'écoute en ce moment, Dawn of the Militant, Unearth à CKRL. De retour à CKRL 89.1, vous écoutez Démentiellement Vôtre, on passe au travers du nouvel album d'Unearth et on arrive à une pièce instrumentale, Aniara, instrumental song, Trevor.
So Aniara and Into the Abyss are connected. The lyrics to Into the Abyss were inspired by a movie called Aniara. It's a Swedish film, and that is basically about the future if mankind develops the technology to leave a dying planet. That's where this movie takes place. Because Earth is dying, and we can live on Mars, and so there's a spaceship that takes off to go to Mars, and that's kind of where the story ends with my lyrics in the movie. The movie goes in a different direction. The ship goes off course, and it's a whole different thing. But it was basically me talking about how we're going to be, potentially in a place where we can inhabit other planets while this planet's dying. And the end of the song speaks of the two scenarios in the same lyric, how, it's time to say so long, I'll be right beside you. So that lyric means you could be on a ship with your family, and I'll be right beside you. It's so long to home. Or you're living on Earth because you can't get off the planet. You don't have the wealth, or you're not of the social stature to get on a ship. So you're with your family. It's time to say so long. I'll be right beside you because you're about to perish. And so that's what the song is about. This is a future, a potential of the future, as if we do have the technology to leave when we do destroy it enough. That's exactly what the song is about.
Donc, deux chansons qui sont connectées ensemble, qui vont de pair, Aniara et Into the Abyss. Le nom Aniara vient d'un groupe, d'un film qui parle un peu de quitter la Terre, de s'en aller vers une autre planète. Et ça l'a inspiré Trevor. Et dans cette chanson-là, c'est un peu qu'est-ce qui peut se passer si la technologie évolue. Il y a deux choix. Soit qu'on part et on laisse dépérir. Puis si on est chanceux ou encore t'es pas chanceux, t'as pas le statut social ou ainsi de suite, tu restes sur la terre et tu péris avec les autres. Donc c'est un peu une chanson science-fiction futuriste avec deux choix qui pourraient arriver si la technologie arrive à temps pour se sauver de la planète Terre et de ses changements climatiques. On les écoute les deux à CKRL 89.1, vous écoutez Démentiellement Vôtre. On arrive bientôt à la fin de cet album d'Unearth à CKRL 89.1. On va écouter Broken Arrow, mais avant, qu'est-ce qui se passe avec Broken Arrow? Quelle est la signification de Broken Arrow? Trevor, Broken Arrow.
So broken arrow is the term for a lost nuclear weapon. And so during the Cold War, there were many lost nuclear weapons. There's reported at least 1,000 of them. There could be more. There are accidents when, as I was talking about with Dawn the Militant, when tensions rise, then we create more weapons. That's human nature. And when there's more weapons, there's potential to lose more weapons. And so if those weapons get in the wrong hands, and then that creates another potential disaster. So it's more of an upbeat song. It's more of a hard rocking song. It's a different vocal approach than I've ever taken on a chorus before. It's not pop singing, but it's more of a heavy rock approach, which I've never done before, really. And it was really fun to record and to track, and I found a voice I didn't realize I had, which is really fun. And I'll tell you, I was ultimately inspired because that song we wrote 16 songs for the record, and when that song was written musically, it was in 16th place for me. Was my favorite. It's too different for Unearth. And then it grew on me. And then our friends, and Every Time I Die, broke up. And we came up together. We started around the same time. We shared buses, a bunch of tours together. And the chorus hit me one night, shortly after they broke up. And I got kind of a Every Time I Die style vocal in my head for that part. And it came from, I think, the emotion of being bummed out that my friend's band broke up, because I never thought they'd break up, And I got inspired by that, because sometimes emotion brings out creativity, and it just made the song, eligible to be on the record, and it eventually got voted in. And I think it's one of the strongest songs because it's so different for us. It's short, it's sweet, it's heavy, but it's heavy rocking. So. I'd love to play it live one day. We haven't yet, but I'd like to.
Donc, Broken Arrow, c'est en anglais, c'est des objets nucléaires perdus. Pendant la guerre froide, il y a eu des milliers d'obus nucléaires qui ont été perdus. Et cette chanson-là est un peu différente. Pour Unearth, le beat est différent. C'est plus hard rock. Il a découvert une façon de chanter qu'il n'avait jamais fait avec le groupe. Puis l'inspiration lui est venue quand les amis d'Every Time I Die se sont séparés. Et à ce moment-là, il a été inspiré. L'émotion lui a inspiré le refrain. Et cette chanson-là est vraiment différente. Ils ne l'ont pas faite en show encore. Ils espèrent la faire un jour. Mais nous, on est chanceux. On l'écoute à l'instant à CKRL. Voici Broken Arrow et on revient avec la finale Theatres of War tout de suite après à CKRL 89.1. De retour à l'émission que vous écoutez en ce moment à CKRL, Démentiellement Vôtre. On termine l'écoute du dernier album d'Unearth avec Trevor Phipps. So Trevor, we're coming at the end of this special of the Wretched and the Ruinous. Theatres of War. That is the final track of the new record. Tell me more about this one.
This song is the one I personally connected to the most musically at first. So I actually tracked this one first. Usually when I connect to a song the most musically, I usually sing it first when it comes time to record a record. I think it has all the elements of what Unearth is about. There's death metal elements, there's hardcore elements, there's metalcore elements. There's a wide range of our influences in this song. It's a fun song. I mean, I love singing it. I still spin that song more than the others sometimes. When I listen to our songs, lyrically, it is about how we got into this mess in the first place with the environment, which is the entire concept of the record. The songs don't particularly talk about the environment. It is about our divisions. How, when I grew up, there was at least some sort of discussion when there was an issue. People didn't really get married to a side. They might have had their beliefs, but they could have a conversation, and we could move political issues forward or environmental issues forward. Right now, it seems that things have been so divided and so politicized that everyone digs in the trenches, and there's no compromise. You see that with politics all over the world, namely the USA. But it's not just the USA; it's happening everywhere, and people get dug into their spot, and when there's no movement. If there's no movement, there's no progression, and when there's no progression, then we're just going backwards, and it's hurting us indefinitely. So that's where There's a War comes from. It's basically talking about all the sides are not coming to agreement, and so now it's just going to create all these different conflicts.
Donc, Theaters of War, c'est un peu le fait que maintenant, on est en conflit parce qu'on peut de moins en moins avoir des discussions, notamment du côté politique. Il y a un clivage, encore une fois, qui se fait de chaque côté. Avant, on pouvait avoir des discussions même quand on n'était pas d'accord, mais de plus en plus, on est en train de créer un théâtre de guerre parce qu'on est en train de ne plus s'écouter et ça reprend un peu tout le concept de l'album concernant les changements climatiques. So Trevor, thanks for having the time tonight and we'll talk to you soon, I hope. Will you come back to Quebec City on an upcoming tour? Do you have any news for us about a comeback in Quebec City after this one with Revocation?
There's no plans currently, but we will be touring on this record extensively. So hopefully we'll come back in the summer. If there's a spring tour to happen, then we'll come back to Quebec City anytime you guys will have us.
Thanks, Trevor.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.